welcome Mr. Sitanshu Supakar, the Head of Engineering Digital Innovation Platform from Philips. So he is a seasoned global engineering leader with extensive experience in driving digital transformation in healthcare technology. He specializes in cloud-native platforms, IoT, and data-driven innovations. Can you use a round of applause for Mr. Sitanshu?
Quickly, so I'm Sitanshu, I'm from Philips. Philips, just a one-liner on Philips' purpose. Philips is a company not doing lighting, right? That is sold off. Philips is a company helping people's lives, improving people's lives and well-being with meaningful innovations. And I'm Sitanshu. I have about 30 years of experience, so I'm old from a DevOps perspective, right? But still I'm new and learning on the DevOps journey. So with that, the topic is, I'll keep it light. I thought that I'll not put in too much of technology. We have seen throughout the day, a lot of technology, a lot of jargons. I'll just take some moments to say a story of how we have survived, transformed, and we have occasionally talked about Kubernetes also, but that's what it is, right? It's a team sport. Nobody here thought that I'll be a DevOps engineer, I'll wake up 2 a.m. in the night. It happened to us, right? It happened to us like taxes, like adulthood, and like Bangalore traffic, right? It happens to us. DevOps is not that we didn't sign up for. Okay. So yeah, it happens. When I grow up, nobody told that I'll become a DevOps engineer. Just quickly, the great corporate relay race, when I started, people would build, people would decide on the business, product managers will do, developer, ops, test, blah, blah, blah. Maybe the agents will do the same, right? Maybe we'll get into this corporate relay again by the agents. But what was the key thing in this? We are very accustomed to blame, right? We hand off and we blame. It's still there. It's not there. It's not gone away completely. But it's the classic corporate relay race where nobody takes the blame. Only the person who suffers is the customer. Then healthcare enters the chat, right? Why I tell healthcare? Because Philips is a healthcare company, so healthcare enters the chat. And healthcare, every line of code requires a birth certificate. What do I mean by that? No jokes. But healthcare is important. We are dealing with people's lives, so everything needs to be regulated. If I write one line of code, there are 2 lines of code to test it, 3 lines of code to document it, and 4 lines of code to deploy it and take care of it when an incident happens. So, and there are a lot of design history file. Some people from GE, I thought was there. So a lot of design history file documents, thousands of review cycles. And if a developer tells, okay, I have to now release the code, compliance will tell, okay, let me review the documents to review the documents. So that's how it was, at least 10, 15 years back. Releases were never in sprints, days. It was taking years, quarters, and so. So that's what it was, and it is still to a certain extent in some other cases. It's rightly so. In some cases you cannot do it, but in some cases we have to. So if we are working on a cloud with AI and stuff, we have to. So that's what the context is, and I'll take back about 10 years back to a story where basically my team was trying to do a complex deployment. Before a Diwali, somebody told, okay, before Diwali, let me do the deployment and go back on vacation, and that's it, right? That Diwali became a Diwali scramble. Everybody was lighting crackers. We were trying to get a lightning pipeline in place, right? So that's the thing. What went wrong? It's classic case. Some cases it was manual, not everything was automated. Nobody tested the end-to-end deployment cycle, not the infrastructure. So all those things were in place. It took 16 hours. There was a lot of data migration. So it took 16 hours to restore back. So that's where the team took a vow that that's it. We are going to automate everything. If something is not nailed to the ground, we'll automate it. And if something is nailed to the ground, we'll pull it up and then again automate it. That's the vow the team took. So deployment was a chance. It was a chance at that point of time. We wanted to do it as a surety. It's not a chance. The key was that it was not the pain of the 16 hours, but the system was telling us that the deployment, the infrastructure as a code, all those things needs to be in place, and it has to be like an engineered product. It is not that it has to be some code, something, it has to be like an engineered product. It was just screaming at us, okay? So then we took up a transformation vision. We are on AWS cloud, so we did a lot of workshops with AWS too for our infrastructure. Architecture was already there, it was a microservices architecture, so no questions there. So the team proposed something radical, and a lot of us thought, okay, either this guy is sleep deprived or he has gone mad, that everything needs to be automated. The key thing was compliance needs to be automated was the question. Can we automate compliance? Because if I cannot automate compliance, I cannot deploy every time. So AWS probably deploys every 6 seconds or 13 seconds. That was the kind of target which we set for this cloud team which was there. This cloud team deploys a lot of services which are used by the different BUs. BUs in this case is like an MR or a CT are the businesses who uses these services to bring innovations. So it is critically important services. So what they told was end-to-end ownership, one team theory. Nobody thought that, or there are still silos in some organizations, but we told no silos, it's one team. There is infrastructure, development, deployment, everything within a team. If we have two teams, if we have to hand off something, that's where things will break. So, and we told that automated compliance embedded in the pipeline. This was very, very, very difficult for an organization to transform to. That's the vision which we set for. And we told that, okay, somebody, or Abhi was talking about monorepo, multi-repo. So yes, we told that every microservice has its own life. Go live it, follow the atomic principles, and they will deploy independently. And we saw that we can release on every commit. Okay. So what we are talking was healthcare-based DevOps. So everybody knew about biz DevOps. It is hyper-automated. But when we try to marry healthcare compliance with biz DevOps, so it is certifiable quality, security, and privacy every time. The big challenge, keeping the agility, speed, automation, momentum, skill, efficiency, all those things in place, it was a big challenge. So what we did do, and this is about 2015, Dora was not so popular. Dora started in 2013, it got bought over by Google in 2018, so it's popular over the last 2 years. However, this is what one KPI which we took, main KPI which we took at that point of time, release frequency, right? Why we picked up? Very simple, we wanted to deliver value to the customer. Customer was the key focus, there was nothing else, customer focus and speed. However, a lot of things needed to change. Main change was culture, roles of the organization. We had to change roles. We actually at some point of time we told there is no developer and tester. We merged all roles called engineer. So this was a culture change shock for a lot of people. We also had to manage cloud cost, right? If every pipeline goes and runs CI/CD on every commit, it's a huge cost. Every pipeline, if it runs over the weekend, the 150 pipelines running over the weekend is a huge cost. So we had to automate that and tell, boss, you cannot run every time. Run on need. Yes, you have to run. Whatever services are active, run. If a service is stable for some time, please do not run it. So that's the kind of stuff which we went through. Again, there was calls, so there was it's not so simple that I'm making it simple, but it was done in that spirit, okay? The problem of this is not technology, right? It is always the economics of DevOps. What do I mean by economics? So far people used to do 4 releases a year. Why 4 releases a year? We used to follow scaled agile framework, 4 PIs, 4 releases a year, very simple. People do it, go ahead, done. We told that, okay, if we have to release on every commit, we can do 200 releases, can we bring it up to 50x a year? The solution was not to add 50x developers or 50x people. Solution was to add automation, which will have the same number of, because every release needs to have lot of documentation, document review and so on. So how can we keep that at not 50x but 1x? So that's the one thing which we tried. We told that if traditionally you have to do, we can save, basically it will take 10,000 of hours of effort. So we did that. This was the outcome. We did 50x. How did we do? We generated every document from a TFS, from Jira, from this thing. All our applications, lifecycle management tools actually helped in generating documents. Review happened then and there. There were automated reviews in place. So all those things, good things were in place. We did this 150 plus microservices, 400 features, and these are teams who are developing code, developing infrastructure, and deploying every day, and thousands and thousands of documents. So it was hyper-automated healthcare-based DevOps. So if we transformed from compliance as a blocker to compliance as a pipeline, right? Everything got automated. There are thousands of APIs, blue-green. You can imagine what it was. We had to put preventive monitoring in place, integrate with all tools like PagerDuty, blah, blah, so that you get the alerts on time. And this is a real outcome. I'm not talking theory. Since I've lived through this journey, I know this is a real outcome, not a consultant's theory. So I know it can be done. The other thing which I did was you build it, you own it. If you have developed it, you have deployed it, you are the person who is going to get a 2M call, not a support engineer or a DevOps engineer. So that's not the way it works. So there is no ops and dev and so on. Outages became educational experiences rather than a blame game or performance appraisals based on outages, right? So that's not what was done. And then recently AI has joined the team, right? When AI has joined the team, AI is writing code, AI is writing tests, AI is writing intelligence incident resolution, AI is also doing some compliance checks. But what I think personally is the DevOps culture is just going to accelerate into chaos faster, because if I am developing faster code, I am putting faster chaos into the system, and with all the reviews are happening, we might not actually be reviewing all the things, right? We might be relying on agents. So in the interim, there might be chaos. I am seeing it already happening in our systems, where people have written a migration script, did not test and had enough tests, and hence we landed in chaos. So it's not that it is far off. I see this happening every day. So AI is going to have some of those chaos. How we overcome it is a question. We also probably need to bring in sustainable pipelines at some point. There is concepts which we have tried sometime. This kind of tech stack will bring in this kind of sustainability, but it's still not mature enough. We need to have intelligence built into the pipelines so that if AI is helping us, it also has to help us in building those pipelines. So if AI is going to help, I'm not talking more about AI because we have learned throughout the day a lot of use cases. I'm not going to get more use cases any further. I'm just taking how this helped, transform this culture helped. In a recent story, 2025, we had 2 times Sai-Hulud attack, supply chain attack, right? We had May also, in May 11th or something again, that resurfaced. If you have not read about Sai-Hulud attack, please go and read about it. The key this thing is they change the NPMs, or malicious NPMs are put when you download. Those NPMs get into your code base, into the build pipelines, and try to get all the secrets and stuff from your code bases. Now, what we did, yes, we figured out that there is something going on. We just went into quick containment. We could do this because we had the culture of a DevOps person knowing pipelines, knowing infrastructure, knowing DevOps in every team, and they could identify the blast radius quickly. They could stabilize everything. We froze deployments for a brief period of time just to ensure that everything is clean. Automation was in place to ensure key rotation happens. All those recovery was very, very fast, just because of we had this culture. If it was not, we had to put a central team. It's a big team, about 300, 400 engineers. It's not going to work with magic, right? It's not going to be magic. So we did this, and we could transform very quickly. We had this hardening of the pipeline, put the guardrails, all these things could be put very, very quickly. and every incident became a blueprint. So, and that's where we got the superpowers for DevOps. And so there is another use case where we told that, okay, everything is done, but everything has got to be self-service. So we went into a model where any new service somebody has to do, he can quickly in minutes set up everything, including the compliance check pipelines. It's not only the code and stuff that everybody can do, but the compliance check pipelines is something which we did. We know the tech stack, we know the documentation, we know the release, all those things. So that's how we scaled DevOps. Now with the closing, so this is a team sport which we are all playing. That is not developers' problem, not DevSecOps problem, not a tester's problem. It's a problem which all have. It is not technology, it is not Kubernetes, it is not Jira, it is not Atlassian, not CodeRabbit or anything else which is coming to do our AI checks. It is not any tool with a logo. It is shared goals, which we still will have in the age of AI. We'll still have shared ownership in the age of AI. We'll still have agents and people take ownership as we learn. We'll still do shared learnings, and we'll have shared accountability is what I think in the age of AI. And what is the shared accountability? Shared accountability is the customer experience. That is the key. Every time everyone has a KPI, shared accountability has to be one of the key KPIs. So none of us signed for 2 AM calls, but we all signed up to create value for the customers. So we should not forget that in a DevOps conference, that the value for DevOps is not in fixing incidents, running code, all those things, good things, but at the end of the day, it has to create value for the customers, and that's exactly what it delivers, right? Some closing thoughts, the most complex distribution system is not Kubernetes. It is a call with 47 members in the call, and nobody knows what is the agenda of the call, right? And we got to get into those calls every now and on. So thanks all for listening. Here's to smooth deployments, faster feedback loops, and coffee strong enough so that we can sustain our next incident review call. Thank you. Any questions?
All right, thank you so much for the wonderful discussion. Can we have Saurabh Kumar, Director of Engineering and Product Development from Amadeus Labs, to felicitate Sir?